Because to be honest, she's just tied down doing Lord of the Rings.
Let's agree that they are married.
Okay.
Okay, but as we can see, the fact that they haven't seen since the wedding happened or the marriage was instituted till four
4
years
years.
after means that marriage has not been consummated.
Heart Talk with Lydia.
Welcome to another episode of Heart Talk with Lydia. So, with us again is Mrs. Domie, a wonderful marriage coach and relationship counselor. So, the last time you were here, it was an amazing time we had with you, and we could not wait to have you again with us. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here again.
Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
You're welcome.
So, guys, we're going to go straight into the story. Hi, Lydia. This is my story. I have been married for close to 4 years, though sometimes it feels like I'm married only in name. The Christmas of 2021 was when I met my husband. He was visiting Nigeria for the short holiday from Italy. We met through a mutual friend, and our connection was instant. We talked endlessly about life in the Western world, our culture, faith, and marriage. We had great moments together. We started dating a week after we met. He told me he was ready to settle down and didn't want to waste time. He introduced me to his family, and when he left, before I traveled back to my base, I would always go and see them, mostly his mom and sisters. When he returned to Italy, after 3 months of long hours on phone calls, video chats, and promises, he told me he did not want to lose me. So he said we should make it official. It sounded like a dream. I was 27, and my parents were already asking when I'd bring someone home. So he sent his people to pay my bride price. It wasn't elaborate but sophisticated. We did the traditional rites. He wasn't there physically, but his brothers stood in for him. We spoke multiple times during the ceremony, and I wished he was around. After the wedding, he promised he would return in 6 months to take me with him. That was the plan. 6 months turned to a year. It was visa issues, then work issues. Every delay came with an excuse, sometimes valid, sometimes vague. Our calls became shorter. I noticed the good morning text started coming late, sometimes not at all. I lived in my parents' house for the first year, still wearing my wedding ring proudly. Whenever neighbors asked, "When are you joining your husband abroad?" I would smile and say soon, but soon became a heavy word. By the second year, I couldn't bear the shame, the side talks and whispers when I passed by. I decided to rent my own place in Enugu, away from my family house. He sent money for the rent, not much conversation, just transactions. I tried to fill the emptiness with work, church, and friends, but sometimes I can't help but wonder, am I truly married? Sometimes he would call and talk about the cold weather, his job, and how expensive things were abroad. I would listen, laugh where necessary, and pretend everything was fine, but inside, something was breaking, a slow, quiet cracking of hope. Last year, I told him I wanted us to try for a visa again. I even volunteered to handle the paperwork. He said he was working on something bigger, that I should be patient. But patience is hard when you've not been touched, hugged, or even seen your husband in 4 years. My friends tease me, saying, "You're still a virgin wife." It hurts, but they are not wrong. I'm a wife without a home, a bride without a groom. 2 months ago, I gathered courage and told him, I can't keep living like this. I'm lonely. The temptation to be with other men is there, and I can no longer deny it. He went silent for a while, then said, "So you want to end the marriage?" His tone was cold, like a stranger's. That was the moment I realized maybe I've been married to an illusion all this while. I'm 31 now, 4 years of being Mrs. on paper, but single in reality. 4 years of covering pain with smiles and explaining to people why my husband is never around. I don't even know what hurts more, that he left or that he never came back. Every night, I still pray for clarity, not for him to return, but for strength to walk away from a marriage that only exists in memory. Because sometimes the hardest thing isn't losing love, it's accepting that it was never really there to begin with. I'm telling my story because I want to know if calling it quit is right. If I'm to wait, how much longer? So, Mrs. Domian, well, several realities that people, so it's really amazing because these stories, let me even ask, are people really going through this? Because this is something I personally cannot deal with, to be honest.
Yeah.
But this is somebody's painful reality because I could feel the pain from this story. I could feel her pain. It's just loneliness is not something anybody should deal with. So what do you think from this story?
Okay. The two of them getting together, I have so many questions.
Yes.
First of all, he wasn't really involved in the marriage.
He wasn't even there from what I see in
And
the story.
yes, and I know they made mention of visa issues.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it's visa issues pertaining to her. Did he also have visa issues?
Well, but the story says he is already abroad.
Yes, he
So-
could visit 4 years. Not once did he come in.
Yes, very
So
true.
I'm sure, like for everyone working,
Very true.
there's time allocated as leave.
Yes.
So I feel like for a man who is invested in a marriage, at least even if there are issues surrounding her own visa, he should be able to come visit. But that didn't happen in all 4 years.
4 years.
And when the wedding happened, it was someone else or a group of other people that paid the bride price on
He
his
wasn't
behalf.
even there.
Yes, so it begs a lot of questions. Did they really get the knowledge needed for marriage before they jumped into it? And then 4 years, does he have anything to hide?
Yes.
Is there a wife abroad?
Yes.
Or
Because
was
when
he
I was
compelled by his people to get
true.
a
True.
Nigerian wife?
Well,
or-
because when I was also reading the story, that was the first thing that came to mind. That okay, it's like this guy is trying to dodge this lady because there is someone over there.
well, we might
But,
never know.
We cannot see, yeah, we may never know. But the truth is, if he was able to come in the first place when they met, he should be able to, if you value somebody so much, because I think that has to do with a lot of respect and value for
Yeah.
that person.
Yeah.
If you really value this person, you should create time.
Sure.
Because even the Bible says, where your treasure is,
There your heart
there
will
your
be.
heart will
Yes.
be. So if you really see this person as treasure to you,
Yeah.
you should be able to create that time. He too should be bothered. But it didn't sound like he was bothered because she said she even asked, what's going on? And he said, are you sure you want to quit? It's like he was already at the end when they've not even started. So
It's possible it was a marriage of convenience. So
Okay.
you can't really tell because there are so many questions, like we already
Yes.
established from
Yes.
the story.
yes.
But then again, I would like to say marriage is for companionship.
True.
The basis for which God instituted marriage was because
Yes.
it wasn't good for man to be alone.
I will make him a helpmate.
Yes. So that was the basis.
Mm.
He didn't want aloneness.
Yes.
So I think couples should be able to discuss this
True.
and ensure that, I don't know, I feel it's a little difficult playing distance marriage. Do you get? Although
Yeah.
there are circumstances, work
Yes.
and all of that
Yes.
that can
Yes.
bring that to play.
Yes.
Sometimes even health.
Yes.
Sometimes commitments that are beyond the couples involved.
Yes.
But companionship is a vital reason why marriage happens. And
Yes.
couples should be able to walk through it.
Yes.
Make sure that they don't stay awake for a lengthy time. Even the Bible says that
Yes.
when you want to fast, you shouldn't abstain for so
So
long,
long.
so that
Yes.
the devil, will
Devil
not
doesn't
tempt
call
you.
me.
Yes.
Yes.
So on that basis, I don't think it's okay to stay away from your spouse for
So long.
a lengthy length of time. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So even if maybe you should be away, you should also play, okay, how do I come visit? How do I come see my children? How do I come, and all of that. But this 4 years straight wasn't available for the wedding ceremony or the
Yes, the
marriage
rights
ceremony.
and all that.
And for 4 years has not visited. And
Mm.
of course, you can see from the message that their conversation has been strained over time. So
Yes.
Hmm.
She also mentioned something about there was a point she spoke to him and she felt like she was talking to a stranger. Of course, it's not, it goes, marriage is beyond just those phone
Yeah,
conversations.
true.
Like you mentioned, companionship, that connection.
Yes.
Marriage, God instituted marriage for that companionship and that connection.
Yes.
So, after a while, that excitement over the phone, it's going to fade away. What next? What happens? You guys become strangers again. Because from the start of the marriage, there's nothing. And that beginning of every marriage is very, very important.
Yeah.
So the beginning that you guys are supposed to
You
be
have
bonding,
Yes, they should have bonded and
there's
getting
plenty
to know yourself.
absence.
Yes.
Yes, getting to know yourselves. Because I believe the time they met, when he came and they discussed, probably, let's say a week, 2 weeks, at most 1 month,
Yeah.
and he left again. So,
Too short
and
to
then
know
too
anybody.
short to know anybody, and then you just jumped in. So I think number one, maybe she was carried away that he's abroad.
Oh, that's a possibility.
She was just carried away. Okay, I'm going to marry somebody abroad, and then when I'm married, me too, I'll pack my bags and
And
jackpot.
leave. Okay.
So she didn't take her time to consider a lot of things. Okay, this guy says he's abroad, I'm in Nigeria. She didn't even ask him what's the plan. I don't think that conversation came up,
Yeah,
because
never
if that conversation came up, she would have known what she was getting into.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to throw a blame game here, but I think young people should see beyond the now butterflies, because those butterflies, when they stop flying in your tummy, at a point the tummy will just be
Yes,
relaxed.
true. They
Then-
won't always fly. It won't always be romance every day.
That's
so
it.
you have to build friendship.
Yes.
Friendship is what will keep the boat
Yes,
moving.
yes,
in marriage.
yes. So I think there was no conversation of, okay, what's the plan? If you want me to get into this marriage with you, you are abroad, I'm in Nigeria, there's
Yes.
plenty
What
distance.
do we
What do we do?
Yes.
What's the next step? If we get married so and so time, what happens? Okay, the marriage rights, are you going to be there? And the guy tells you, okay, no, I'm not going to be there. You already know what you are getting into. So you now make your decision.
Yes.
You know.
Truly, before marriage, that's when you have the time to
The-
ask all
Those
first.
questions. Yes.
And everybody gets to play out what their plans
Yes.
are.
Yes. Yes.
Literally, the guy is selling a vision to you. A
Mm.
vision that brings you in to become his life partner.
Yes,
So you have
yes.
to know, like, ask all the questions
Yeah.
possible, weigh all
Yeah.
your options and
Mhm.
all. But I think we jump the gun, and then when you get into marriage, you're surprised that this is happening.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you didn't take the time
Mm.
to see, okay, what are the terms involved in this? Is this
Okay.
something I can make do with?
Mhm.
Are there deal breakers?
Yes,
Consider, go the whole 9 yards
Yeah.
before marriage. Ask all the
All
questions.
the questions.
possible.
Yes.
Then weigh all your options. And know,
Yes.
okay. So at the point you're making the decision, you can actually stand with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no matter what comes, because
Mhm.
that's the commitment you're supposed to give in marriage. But when you don't do that, by the time the first wind hits you, you're already like, oh, I want out, I want quit.
Yeah.
And you forget that this is a long-term covenant. This
Yes.
is a long-term, would I even say long-term? Not long-term, lifetime.
Forever.
Yes, lifetime
Yeah.
commitment.
It's a forever
yes.
commitment. Yes.
So I think people don't wait. They
Before they
always
get in.
already look at that there's some sort of exit. So they are getting in with some sort of consciousness that if this thing doesn't work out,
I move this way.
yes, exactly. So I think that doesn't help.
Yeah. So, but I'm going to ask you a question now,
Yeah.
because at the end she mentioned something. She said, should she call it quit? To me, I'm going to ask a question, but I want to say something. To me, what are you quitting when there's nothing? To me, that's what no. But to be honest, to me, I don't even see anything that even started that you want to quit. So now my question is, at this point, to her, she believes she's married. To her, she's married. I don't know if the guy sees that they are married, because if he actually sees that they are married, he should have created time to bond with his wife.
Okay.
So now the question is, she has stayed 4 years waiting for this guy. Is there anything by law? Is there anything anywhere that states that, okay, if you have waited for 4 years and this guy is not forthcoming, at what point can she say, okay, let me move on my life? Because to be honest, she's just tied down doing Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the guy's enjoying in Italy.
For the two of them to believe marriage happened, I believe it happened. Because,
Yeah.
culturally, they went to pay her bride price. So her
Okay,
people had,
without the man, so it's
I think
still
many cultures accept that.
oh,
So
oh,
I think
okay,
it's all dependent on what is
okay,
obtainable to you get.
okay,
So we can't completely rule that out. So
okay,
let's agree that they are married.
okay.
Okay, but as we can see, the fact that they haven't seen since the wedding happened or the marriage was instituted till 4 years
4 years.
after means that marriage has not been consummated.
Yeah.
So you ask the question, legally, yes, there's an act that backs that a marriage that hasn't been consummated, I think in 12 months,
Yeah.
can be dissolved. It can
Okay.
be
By law,
annulled,
right?
yes.
Okay.
But I would like to tell a story.
Okay.
You know, she's asking whether she should call it quits or no.
Okay.
I have a similar case, or I had a similar case. Someone who got married, although for her it was quite different. The man was here, but he was already built to travel, you know, and then he left, and she was supposed to join, you know, they were still processing her visa. Her ticket came out, and she was supposed to travel, like, I think just before COVID. So COVID struck, and instead of getting on the plane and leaving, she was afraid to leave,
Okay.
you know, and said, oh, let me just wait around and see what's up with this COVID. And unfortunately, the borders got shut.
Oh my.
So she was literally stuck in Nigeria, and she couldn't travel to see her husband. So 1 year turned to 2 years, you know, everybody was scared. By the time other countries opened their borders, the country where her husband was, something happened, and they still kept theirs shut longer. Okay, so when we discussed, we realized that, yeah, I'm going to bring the spiritual part into it. There
Yeah,
was a
sure.
pattern in the family, like they'll marry and then there'll be a lot of distance before they get together. So because of that, we decided to take a spiritual walk
Okay.
and called a fast and prayed.
Okay.
And we prayed that the gates of that nation was going to be open,
Be open
to her.
to her. Yeah.
Yes. And whatever visa or immigration issues, in fact, their visa station in Nigeria has shut down. So she had to travel to another African country to process the visa. But what we prayed was that it was going to happen in such a hurry, like she would not have the time. And that was exactly what happened. She couldn't even call to say, oh, this is what is going on. It was until she had gotten in there. And we also prayed that she was going to take in immediately.
And that happened.
Yes. So I think, considering the woman here, you know, unfortunately there's a biological clock.
Yeah.
And, you know, she got married at 27, she's already 31, which is still fine. But the more she progresses in age, the more her eggs are no longer as viable as, you know, she's when she was younger.
Yeah.
So we need to take advantage of time. And then, you know, one of the reasons people get married, beyond every other thing too, is procreation. So that can be a factor for which issues can arise. Okay, so I feel she should have a conversation with him, weigh what the real problems are. Like, okay, where are we having difficulties?
Yeah, apart from the visa.
Yes, are there people we can talk to who can offer help? Do you get? Can we take advantage of maybe what other people might have done who were in similar situation?
Yeah.
Do you get?
Help.
Then go the whole 9 yards and see, okay, can it be solved? If you get to the point where you see that, okay, this is no longer working, you know, we've tried everything humanly possible, then I think the two of them can agree. Yes, and maybe, but I'm not up for it. I always feel like there might be a way around.
Yeah, but
Probably
I think
efforts have not been put in as much as it should.
well, yes, but I think in this case, I just hope the guy is willing to open up, because based on the story, she has been asking. She even at a point said she offered.
Yes.
So I think, I don't know, but from the story, I really don't know if there are other things that she did not tell us, but based on what we have seen or the story she has sent, I'm seeing that it's like the man is not really ready to open up, come up and tell her this is what the problem is. So she on her own end is now being frustrated. And that is another thing. Communication is very important.
Yes.
Because if you are saying you are venturing into something as big as marriage with somebody, you should be able to communicate even the smallest the things you feel are not even important. Just communicate, because you never know. I am somewhere else. I don't know what's in your mind. And she's just being frustrated that, okay, I don't know this man is not telling me anything. And time is going. People will laugh, of course. Whether people laugh, people don't laugh. Whether you go married, people must surely laugh. Or just ignore people. But this is now between you and the guy.
Yeah.
So I believe that this guy should be able to open up. I think that's another problem. He's not opening up enough to her to know okay, where they are at the moment, and she is just there not knowing what to do or what position they are in.
Yes.
So now in this case, do you say she should still wait?
Okay, like you mentioned, honesty is very vital in
Mm.
marriage. Okay, so if there are bits of the story the guy isn't telling her, I think
Yeah.
he should come open naked and not ashamed. Okay,
Yes.
these are the difficulties I'm
Yes.
having. These are the issues surrounding you.
Mhm.
Because I know marriage is bound for which anybody can travel to meet their spouse.
Yes.
Unless maybe there's a part of the story we don't know about.
Yes, yes.
So I still think, seriously, they should explore and put in 100% of effort to see it happen.
Okay.
But if it happens that they've tried everything humanly possible, like I initially said,
Mm.
then the two of them, can come sit and know what, because you can't just be married on paper, and since the marriage has not been consummated, even within the church system, I think that is also basis for dissolution of any marriage. So
Okay.
she can also explore that. But before she gets to the extreme, I think check, are there option A, B, C, D before you
Yeah.
get to Z?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
that's
understand.
what I advise.
Good. Any other thing that you want to add?
I think I would like to advise people who haven't gotten into marriage yet.
Yeah.
Really, we have said marriage is a covenant, but every covenant comes with terms and is on the
Sure,
basis of
sure.
agreement. So you can't be agreeing to a marriage you know nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
People haven't talked, you haven't explored, okay, what are your expectations, what is your purpose, what
True.
are the realities we're going to have,
True.
and you just jump in with so much uncertainty. So I would advise singles to really sit
Yeah.
and use the courtship space to get all the knowledge possible
Yes.
about their spouse, learning about marriage, learning about even family history
Yes.
regarding maybe patterns and all.
Yes.
Even regarding this pattern thing, you have to know, is this something I can deal with before you even jump in?
Yes.
Because
if it's something that's happened
yes,
before.
if it's something you can't, you can say no. Because at that point, even for a lady, she has the power of choice.
Yes.
Yes.
True.
And then once you've gotten into a covenant and it's binding,
Yes.
it's still death do you part. So I think singles should take it seriously and not just jump in for the sake of maybe self-gratification or the euphoria of romance and all of those kind of things.
Okay. So thank you so much, Miss Domie. Thank you so much, because every time you come, you always calmly dissect the story for us. So she has said everything, capped everything up. And yes, I was also going to cap it up by saying, ask your partner, ask all the questions. Don't say, oh, I want to ask this. I don't know how he will feel. I don't know how she will feel. Please ask all the questions, even the questions that you feel like doesn't make sense. Just ask, because you need to know where this person is going. You can't just be following. Two blind people cannot lead themselves. Both of you, so in fact, both of you have to have your eyes open. When it comes to marriage, everybody's eyes needs to be open. The person who you are following as the head, as the leader, his eyes have to be wide open for you to be able to follow. So if you say, I'm getting into marriage with somebody, you need to ask all the questions, know where this person is going, and know if you want to go that same direction. Know if where the person is going also aligns with where you are also going as a person. So all these things you need to put in place before you decide to say, oh, I'm ready to say yes I do. It's not just the yes I do, wearing the ring and all. It goes beyond all that. Now you have worn the ring for 4 years. You have not seen this man. You don't know what he's doing, don't know what he's up to. He's not willing to talk to you about it. But I believe that calmly, patiently, prayerfully, speak with this man. Be calm. I know at the state you are right now, you are feeling so much pressure, and that pressure is not going to make you maybe be calm enough, but try to breathe. Ask this man, okay, this is 4 years. What are we doing? Where are we going? What should we do? What steps do we need to take? Try to be patient enough and know what's going on before you make up your mind or jump and say, okay, I want to call it quits. Because he may even be going through some challenges that maybe he's not even bold enough to tell you about. And he just feels like, oh, if this woman knows, it may hurt her, or she may feel some type of way. And then that goes down to communication. When you now get married, couples should be able to communicate. Sometimes Partners feel like if I tell this person this thing I'm going through, the person might feel some type of way. Regardless, share. That is why God created marriage, for companionship. You are there to hold each other's hands. It's not a one-man business. It's two people becoming one. So communication is very important in marriage. Please communicate with your partner so they know where you're going, so they know where you are at, so they know where to help, so they know where to come in, so they know where to support. So, guys, we have come to the end of another episode of Heart Talk with Lydia. If you have any stories you want to share or any concerns, you have the number on your screen. Reach out and let's talk.